What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode 4 of the Fall Camp Preview Series. Today we are talking about the tight ends. This is a very interesting group overall. You have the veteran Lake McCree, you have the young guy that flashed potential with Walker Lyons, and then you have the wild cards of Joey Olsen and Walter Matthews. But overall, this is a group that people don't really know a lot about, especially if you're not a USC fan. So is this finally going to be the year under Lincoln Riley where we see a tight end take off? I sure hope so. I'm going to be pushing my Joey Olsen as a lead agenda until the wheels come off. So yeah, very excited to get into this one. If you guys are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now let's get into it. All right, so first things first, let's talk about the grizzled vet in the room, Lake McCree. Now, Lake had another injury in spring camp that kept him out for the end of it. And man, it's been a rough go of it injury-wise for Lake throughout his career at USC. It's just one thing after another. He had a very good start to the year last year, played very well with Miller Moss, which granted was a much more tight end friendly scheme early on in the season. You saw him have a big game against LSU. He looked really good against Utah State, aside from the fumble. And then we went to him one too many times on that stupid little dump off against Michigan, and they took his legs out, and he was never the same the rest of the year. But a fascinating thing to talk about, and I just mentioned it, and keep in mind that this applies to all of the tight ends, is Jaden Maiava going to be able to utilize that part of the field and actually get them the ball? Because with Miller Moss, he really liked that middle part of the field. He knew where his checkdowns were. I thought we saw a major drop-off in the passing offense last year, right after that Lake injury. I think that was a big one that no one really talks about, but that kind of threw the rhythm off of everything. But looking at a guy like Jaden Maiava, where does he like to throw the ball? Outside the numbers. How many times did we see him just chuck it on one of those fade routes along the sideline? That's where he's comfortable throwing the ball. He really likes those seams. He's not the rhythm timing guy, the guy that's going to go 1, 2, 3 and check it down to the tight end. That's not his game, at least what we've seen up to this point. So how is that going to affect the tight ends? I'll be honest, guys, I don't think they're going to get a lot of targets this year. Now, if Hassan Longstreet comes in, maybe he'll be more in favor of using that security blanket. But as we've seen with Jaden, he just likes to chuck that thing downfield, which whether you love it or hate it, that is his play style, that is his DNA as a quarterback. Don't see him growing out of that in year 4 of playing college football. So I do believe that the targets are going to be limited for the tight ends. So now pivoting off of Lake over to Walker Lyons, the question becomes which one of those two, if Lake is healthy, who would be the starter? And for my money, at this stage in his career, I do believe Walker Lyons is ready to be tight end 1. Lake was really slowed down at the end of last year. He did not at all look like he did earlier in the season. And I thought Walker Lyons was really coming along strongly. He was a true freshman tight end. Yes, he had some lapses when he was blocking. He had some not so great moments, but it was more good than bad. And when you pair that with the athletic upside, with him taking another year, hopefully another jump, the upside as a receiver with the improvement as a blocker, for me, have him slated to be the starter. Also, keep in mind, we don't know Lake's health status heading into fall camp. I could be wrong about that. It could be out somewhere, but I haven't seen it. So Walker Lyons, I believe to be the guy. One thing you love about Walker is he is so fluid. He's so smart. He's very good at finding the soft spots in zone coverage. Towards the end of the year, you saw Lincoln giving him some more creativity, some more flexibility with those choice routes, with those option routes. And I thought the more free-flowing he was allowed to play, the better he looked, at least in the passing game. Because with Jaden at quarterback, there were a good amount of times where Walker was wide open in the middle of the field. But like we talked about, that is not where Jaden is looking to throw the ball. He does not read that part of the field very well. So he's always looking outside the numbers. And that really hurt the target numbers for Walker Lyons and for the tight ends in general. So next up on the pecking order is Joey Olsen. Shout out to all my fellow Joey Olsen as elite believers. But yeah, if Lake is not ready to go, Joey Olsen is going to be that next guy in line. Now, Joey is the most natural and fluid receiver in this entire group, and I don't think it's really close. Joey actually played wide out in high school. He was pretty lanky, wasn't the biggest guy, and now he's listed at 6'5", 246 pounds, and he looks every bit of that. And Joey isn't just really good at running his routes, he's not really good at catching the football. This guy can move. We obviously haven't seen him at this playing weight at 246, so could it be a little bit different? Yes, absolutely. But man, that natural athleticism he showed at Lake Ridge High School in Oregon really looked like the real deal to me. The question with him is no doubt going to be where's the physicality at and where are we at with the blocking? No blocky, no rocky in this Lincoln Riley offense. That does not just apply to the running backs. That does not just apply to the wideouts. That obviously applies heavily to the tight ends as well. Joey's also a guy that we could see at that H-back spot. We saw Cade Eldridge there a lot last year. In Lincoln's first year at OU, they used the H-back a ton in the passing game, especially in that game at Ohio State. They were throwing to that guy a bunch. Wheel routes, screens, all sorts of stuff to get him the ball. Could see Joey playing there as well. Next up, let's talk about Carson Tabaracci. So this isn't going to be a very long one because we just don't know right now. Where is his health? Is he going to be on this roster come fall camp? He's a redshirt junior and he's barely played. Right now listed at 6'1", 222. When you take into account that Lake McCree's 6'4", 249, Walker Lyons is 6'4", 240, and Joey Olsen is 6'5", 246. Clear to say that we have a type when it comes to the tight end position, and Tabaracci obviously does not fit that. And when you pair that with the massive amount of injuries, the massive question marks surrounding him heading into fall camp, it's hard to project anything at this point. Is he going to have a role in special teams? Is he even going to be on the team? We have no idea, so let's just wait and see on that one. Next up, let's talk about fan favorite Walter Matthews. Football aside, genuinely one of the best people in this entire program. Love Walter, all around great dude. And man, let's start with the size. As you all know, 6'6", 272-pound redshirt freshman from Hiram, Georgia. An absolute Goliath of a human being. A guy with a basketball background. Very athletic, very big, very large, very strong kid. Is he going to play this year? I believe he is, but maybe not in the role that you all are thinking. Barring some injuries happening, I don't know who he's going to jump on the depth chart to get real playing time. But I just have this vision of him. You know that trend where teams are taking a really big tight end or a fullback or an offensive lineman, and they send him in full speed motion across the line to crack the defensive end? We saw Penn State do that to us multiple times. I could 100% see Walter Matthews doing that, or playing a traditional fullback in a goal line set. Obviously pure speculation, but that is something that Lincoln has done in the past. So I really like Walter's skill set, but I do have a hard time seeing him jump Lake McCree or Walker Lyons or Joey Olsen for that traditional tight end spot. There's obviously a ton of talk about him becoming an offensive tackle. I have no clue if that's something he's open to or not. He'd need to put on some weight, but he has the height for it, he has the length for it, he has the feet for it, and he sure as hell has the athleticism for it. And lastly, let's talk about the true freshman Noah Tupou. Going to be wearing number 88 for SC this year, an absolutely elite tight end number. He is coming in at 6'3", 245 pounds. This is another really interesting guy. Don't think he's going to play this year at all. But not only was he a tight end in high school, but he also played edge. There were a lot of schools that had him graded higher as a defensive player than an offensive player. But he wanted to play tight end. That's why he came to USC to play the tight end position. This is another super athletic kid that just needs some time to grow more into his body, learn the position, learn the system, learn all the ins and outs. Because playing tight end at USC is a very, very complicated position. The fact that Walker Lyons was able to be away from football for an entire year in Norway on his mission, arrive back at USC late for fall camp, not even get a spring, and be able to contribute as a true freshman, that's an outlier. That's not the norm. I have no idea how he was able to do that. But it's very rare to see major playing time from a true freshman tight end. And while I believe his future is very, very bright, I would be very, very surprised to see Tupou play at all this year. And guys, that is the USC tight end room. A lot of people really like this group, including myself. It's a very likable group with a lot of upside, a lot of potential, and obviously hope we can stay healthy this year, not lose any of those key guys. Not a ton of experience in this room at all. So let's keep Lake and Walker healthy. And obviously never forget hashtag Joey Olsen is elite. But guys, if you did happen to enjoy this fall camp preview episode, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're all awesome. And as always, take care and fight on.